Hi everyone, this is Parth Savla from Truvizon Designs. We're here today with JaneSha, who is a financial strategist who has worked with individuals and organizations over her career of nearly 2 decades. So she's going to be with us today to share the value of her work and maybe some tips that we can take on into our own personal lives to take our financial future to a whole new level. So Jane, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Parth, for inviting me here, and I am glad that you are giving me opportunity to share my work with everyone, so that small things matter the most. Every small decisions taken for future has a substantial impact in everyone's life. So I hope you get benefited in your life through my sharing some knowledge with you.
Wonderful, thanks Jane. So let's get right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the work that you've done? Let's go right into the tips.
Yeah, sure. We'll go right into the tips, that's good. But before that part, I would like to share with you why I keep saying always that financial planning is important. I'm sure everyone knows that when you suffer from worries, your health is impacted, right? And as per research, the top reason in anyone's life for worry is financial worries. So if you're continuously into financial worries, it is going to impact your mental as well as physical health. What happens is you have high stress level, you have disturbed sleep, your cortisol level in your body are disturbed, you lose focus in your life, and eventually all this comes out to be a vicious circle whereby your financial growth is again impacted. So you start with worries, you end up being into more worries when you are stressed. Now I have some 5 very simple tips which will help you relieve from your financial stress. If you follow these 5 tips, your financial stress and worry level will come down drastically. So tip number 1 is always have budget in place. Your financial budget for your home expenses should always be there in place. Sounds very simple. Yeah, it is very simple. What is budget? You know how much amount you are spending and how much amount you are recovering. If you are spending more than you are recovering, you are into negative budget. And if you are earning more than you are spending, you are into positive budget. So once you start writing it down, noting it down somewhere, you know at least whether you are into positives or negative. If you are in positive, good news, you plan your investment. If you are negative, you have to work on your income levels and you have to work so that you turn out to be into positive. Second tip is always have contingency fund, which is equivalent to at least 6 months of living expenses. Why 6 months of living expenses? At any point of time, if you suffer through any financial downside, it could be loss of job, it could be loss of any professional assignment, it could be ill health, you have at least 6 months to recover and come back to your normal financial health. So always keep aside at least 6 months of your financial living expenses for any future provisions. Third, most important thing, plan even for your retirement fund. And earlier you start, better it is for you. Later you start, harder it gets for you. We know the power of compounding. Power of compounding works over a longer period of time. So if you want to really enjoy the benefit of power of compounding, which we call as the 8th wonder of the world, do plan your retirement planning as early as possible. If you have not yet planned, today is the date that you plan your retirement planning. The 4th tip, have your insurance in place. It costs very little money to have your term insurance plan, but that will safeguard your your loved ones from any financial problems that they can face. Fourth thing that I would like to share with you is have your will documented. And if you have children, you have more reason to document your will, because you don't want them to suffer when you are not around in the world. So have your will documented, properly planned, and if you have more than one child, you properly plan this will and attest, make it a legal document. So if you follow these 5 tips from today onwards, you will start getting planned in your life when it comes to finances, and you can live a life which is free from worries.
Wow, awesome. Thank you so much, Jane. Can you do a quick recap? So tip number 1 was?
Tip number 1 is have your budget in place. Tip number 2 is have your retirement planning. Tip number 3 is have your contingency fund. Tip number 4 is, would you like to say what is tip number 4?
Is it having your will done?
Yeah, that is good. That's tip number 5, which is having your will done, and tip number 4 is having your insurance in place.
Wonderful. I probably forgot number 4 because I don't have that in place for myself right now.
Please do it.
So Jane, thank you again so much for joining us, for dropping a bunch of wisdom bombs on us regarding our financial strategies and why that's really important for us, and also the value of being financially stress-free. Yes. And the impact that can have on our health and well-being.
I would say, Parth, this is very important, because if you want to pursue your hobby, if you want to pursue your life apart from your professional life, you need to live a life which is free from financial worries. Only then you are ready for your family, only then you are ready for yourself, only then you are ready for the world as well. How do you contribute if you are into stress? So once your finances are set, you are free to do many other things in life.
Beautifully put. Well said. Thank you again, Jane. And guys, to learn more about Jane's work, go to the description of the video, subscribe to her YouTube channel, like her on Facebook, follow her on Instagram and on Twitter, and we'll be sharing more updates over time. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to this.